Electrocast.
Whether you're a diehard sports fan, a hopeless romantic, or a comedy aficionado, the Xfinity 10G network was made for streaming it all. Worry less about buffering when streaming your favorite shows, movies, or live sports, and enjoy a better way to watch. Xfinity gives you a reliable connection for streaming, plus all the entertainment you love all in one place. Fear not, because now you can finally sit back, relax, and stream your favorite entertainment and sports like never before with the Xfinity 10G network.
Introducing Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, the ultimate family vacation. The ultimate 6 slides, 8 neighborhoods, 0 compromise vacation. The ultimate never done that, can't wait to do it vacation. The ultimate chillin' by a different pool every day of the week vacation. This is the Icon of Vacations. Icon of the Seas, arriving in 2024. Book today. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Welcome into Missing the Point. It's no longer the power ranking show because the ranks have been powered. The powered have been ranked. We had a lot of fun talking about who was good, who was mid, who was shitty. But now it's playoff time, man. And
turns out everyone was kind of shitty, except for like 6 teams.
It turns out we thought everybody was good, but it turned out everyone was just equally shitty. Have I ever done? Are you a South Park fan?
Yeah.
Have you Tally?
Of course I know Tally.
I do a pretty good Tally. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, I want to hear you Tally. Of course I want to hear you fucking Tally.
I'll tell you why this relates to football in a second.
Okay.
But...
Yeah, I'm excited for the connection, to be honest. I really am.
All right, ready? I'm so high right now. I got no idea what's going on. So the reason I did the Tally for
that was so good.
I'll do Carbon for you later too, even though it has no bearing on this, but I feel like every time I look at Lovie Smith's face, he reminds me of that line from Tally, because he's always just got this like half smirk, like he knows something that we don't. And I have to say, like,
turns out he fucking did. He knew what he was doing the whole fucking time.
For myself, longtime listeners of the show will know. New listeners, you're about to find something out about me. I am a fan of the Chicago Bears, and for someone who has just watched the worst team in the NFL, I had a fucking great time watching the Bears this year. I had a really good time watching Justin Fields be Justin Fields.
I'm glad I could ride it with you too. I'm glad I could ride Justin Fields.
I love it. Yeah, because Bobby had Justin Fields on his fantasy team, so we're all in it. So I've actually had a shockingly good time watching them this year. Fields is great. We almost won a lot of games, but we didn't win any games. So
they were so good at losing this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were great. And it was an obvious rebuild. We are, by the way, listeners, going to talk about the playoffs and not the team who made the playoffs the least as we come up. But we did have a good time watching and talking about the Bears this year. And like,
how was that moment though? How was that moment?
I'm going to describe it to you.
Okay.
I came into the final day of the season not thinking it was possible. Not even entertaining the thought. Like, it hadn't occurred to me that they might get the number 1 pick, because to me, it was just a no-brainer that the Houston Texans just had to go out and lose that game. And it was just like all locked up. You go get Bryce Young and you just start to rebuild and you hope for the best for the future, right? But, I mean, they must have told Lovie Smith they were going to shit can him either way.
They did. They told him before the fucking game.
And I don't know.
So stupid.
I don't know what kind of motherfucker you thought Lovie Smith was. But that man is from round the way.
That kind of.
He's from round the way, and he's leaving with something. He is leaving with something. And
what a boss.
You know what it was? It was like if you could convert it into like a 10-second video, it was the part in Half Baked where the guy quits his job and he's like, "Fuck you, you're cool, fuck you, I'm out." And as it started to materialize, right, I didn't want to tell myself it was possible. As the Texans were like winning, and then the Colts came back, and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." They were just trying to make it look good, like whatever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
4th and 20.
4th and 20.
4th and 20. I was like, all right, no, whatever. 4th and 20. It's not gonna happen. And
that's a sign. That's a sign, by the way.
Yeah, I know, dude. I didn't want to. I kind of like, maybe there was some part of me that was thinking like, if I don't ever think it'll happen at that point, maybe it's more likely to happen, like you're kind of making like deals with a
You're
god.
like, 420, bro. Look, come on, bro.
So essentially the Houston Texans, who don't have a good player on their team, their quarterback is, his name is Davis Mills, which a lot of people might have just learned.
Wait, was that Davis Mills that threw the pass?
Davis Mills that threw the pass. Yeah. So, it wasn't Jeff Driscoll. I'll tell you that.
That's who I thought it was.
Was it Jeff Driscoll?
It might have been fucking
I'm pretty
Jeff
sure.
Driscoll,
I'm pretty
bro.
sure it was Davis Mills. Doesn't matter. Both are equally fucking irrelevant factors in this National Football League. We just said two names that might as well. All due respect to those two guys, they're a hell of a lot better at football than I'll ever be. But those are two guys that might as well be in the fucking in the background casting of Footloose. Never mind playing football in the NFL. But listen, here's the thing. Davis Mills or fucking, Humpty Dumpty or whoever the fuck
was
steps back and throws just like essentially a Hail Mary, right?
It was, yeah.
It goes through the hands.
He took a crow hopper thing.
Yeah. It goes through the hands like it disappeared and then reappeared. Like it went through the hands of a Colts secondary player and they caught the touchdown. And then the sweetest fucking moment I've ever seen where Lovie Smith just gets this. Just this curled corner of his mouth smile. He's just smiling with the edges of his eyes. And they go for two. And they get it. Of course they do at that point, right? Of course they do. Lovie Smith, the man who brought the Chicago Bears to the 2006 Super Bowl and unfortunately lost, even though Devin Hester returned the opening kickoff. I think it was always going to be Peyton Manning's year that year. We had Rex Grossman as a quarterback. Might as well have been Davis Mills.
Peyton Manning versus Rex Grossman in the Super Bowl.
Not fair in the modern era. But we had the best defense I've ever seen the Bears have back then. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was a great season.
Yeah.
And I was bummed out that we blew that up. But it's Lovie Smith will already before now will always have had a place in my heart because I don't even think he should have gotten fired when he got fired. But now, like one of my future kids.
Statue.
Like unbelievable. Like you said to me, right? That could be a franchise-changing moment for both of those franchises.
For everyone,
positive and negative, unfucking believable moment. I couldn't believe it because obviously now, if you're, what was that fucking guy's name that was on ESPN today? Basically being like, oh yeah, no, the Bears, here's what they need to do. They need to trade fucking what's his name? Mike Tannenbaum was like, they need to trade Justin Fields, draft Bryce Young, go fourth with Bryce Young, and then get like a couple first rounders for Justin Fields. It's like, dude,
that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
First of all, what fucking quarterback were you watching all year? Second of all, Bryce Young, like he might be good, but like for me, this was like the least. He ran unopposed for the Heisman this year, right?
Yeah.
There's no conversation around any sort of competition for him. Usually you get 2 to 3 guys coming out of a draft class at the quarterback position where people are like, could be him, or could be him. Here's my ranked of likelihood. It's only Bryce Young this year. It really is. So I don't know what kind of a quarterback he's going to be in the NFL. To me, he stinks of an All-American college player coming in and failing. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, even like best case scenario, you're looking at like a 60-40, 70-30. That he ever gets to be.
He's not Joe Burrow.
Justin Fields has already proven who he's
already NFL.
Do not trade it.
No. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. So if ever Flus does that, and Poles does that, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah.
So, but we have this first pick now. And I hope they've been on the phone. If it was me, I would have been on the phone all week.
Did you celebrate like it was a Super Bowl?
Dude, I couldn't believe it. I fucking couldn't believe it. And I felt bad because, like, as you know, my wife is a Steelers fan and it came down to the wire for her again in the playoffs and she was fucking bummed. But I was like running around the house. Hercules. I was going fucking bonanzas.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I had a fucking great time. It was the best possible last day to an NFL season this season that I could have ever predicted. Thanks for giving me a few minutes to talk about it. I love Lovie Smith with my whole heart. And
don't forget about Jordan Akins, bro.
I love Jordan Akins.
Get that man a statue.
I love everybody that was involved in that win. I think that the Bears should just find a way to get Akins like on the roster. Sign them all up, dude. Sign them all up. They're all honorary Bears anyway. I think it was awesome. I love that there was still drama, at the end of the season even for the neutral, for watching. Like, you know what it made me feel good about? It made me feel good about, like, Red Zone's send-off. Like, they had a great, like...
It was a great last day.
They were like,
it really
thanks
was.
so much for being with us. Like, we had just a wonderful year with you guys. Like, and I was like, you guys are the best. Like...
Scott Hansen is, like one of my best friends. You know what I mean?
Right?
Like,
he lives with me on a Sunday.
Bro, I love Scott Hansen. That man has a soft spot in my heart forever. I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss him.
I know. I can't wait for next season, honestly, at this point. Do you know he's Chris Hansen's brother from Dateline?
No, he's not.
No, he's not. I just made that up. I had you for a second, though. I had you in the first half, not going to lie. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the playoffs. Thanks for chatting about the Bears with me. Okay. We're going to talk about the playoffs.
Wait, actually, one last thing. The funniest part about this whole thing is it is probably like 60% likely that the Texans end up trading with the Bears to go up and get that first pick, bro.
Are the Texans okay? Like, are they all right?
No.
Somebody needs to check on them.
I've never seen a franchise in such disarray in my entire life.
You remember the movie Girl Interrupted?
Yes.
It should be called Franchise Interrupted. Like, we need to check on their mental health. It's not good. If you or someone you know is a Texans fan, call someone. And let them know. I'm very
worried
sorry
about you. We're worried about you, Winona.
But honestly, if I'm being honest, this is how I feel about it. The Chicago Bears, for all their faults of the last few years, for some of the joke fucking teams that they put out of the last few years, the Chicago Bears are one of the winningest franchises of all time. They're one of the original franchises. Mm-hmm. They're in one of the best cities in America, nay, the world. They have a great fan base. They are a real NFL team. They're a franchise that the NFL would be worse off if they didn't have. They are a great market. And the Houston
uniforms
Texans,
are iconic.
The uniforms are iconic. They've had some iconic players: Dick Butkus, Brian Urlacher, Gale Sayers, Walter Payton, Vince McMahon, Jim McMahon. Sorry, Vince McMahon's the wrestling guy. Jim McMahon. It's just been he's been in the news this week.
The fridge.
William the Refrigerator Perry. Fucking Mike Singletary.
Cade McCown.
Yeah. You can't name that many. Devin fucking Hester. The human highlight reel, the most exciting man in sports.
Marty Booker.
Loved Marty Booker. Peanut Tillman, remember him?
I love Peanut Tillman. I like Peanut
Loved
Tillman.
him. Marty Booker was great. He was like an old
I used to play with the Bears a lot.
Like 06 Madden. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me and my buddy would always do Bears-Ravens. That was always the matchup. And I just don't know if you can have that kind of conversation we just had about the Houston Texans. So makes me feel like all is right in the world that happened. So sorry, Texans fans, your franchise is not even as old as I am. And that's
someone sold their soul to the devil. I'm telling you, like at that moment when they were up 28-10, something catastrophic happened that affected the Houston.
I'll tell you something. If you outline to me, like say Satan showed up right before that pass got thrown, and he was like, "Hey, you'll get the first pick. If it, I'll make this catch happen, and you'll get the first pick. You want to sell me your soul?" I'd be like, "No." And then if he was like, "Hey, this is what happens to the Bears in the next 10 years if you get the first pick, but I'm going to erase your memory and not let you know that you sold me your soul. You want to do it?" I'm signing on the dotted line, man. Let's fucking light this candle.
Yeah. You should be excited. You should.
I am. I was already excited about this offseason. Most salary cap, like I've told you a million times. And we were always going to have a good draft pick, but now we have the good draft pick. Anyway, we got to move on.
Yeah, sorry.
The Seattle Seahawks are playing the San Francisco 49ers. Hey, listen, we're going to talk about betting lines. We're going to talk about matchups. We're going to talk about players. We're going to do it all. It's a one-stop shop here on Missing the Point today. But I have to say, right off the bat, Seattle, it's been an admirable season. I think you guys have really put in a lot of guts and a lot of glory. I think it's hilarious that Geno Smith broke Russell Wilson's passing record in one season, especially married to Russell Wilson, just having like a comically bad season.
It didn't seem ever as impressive as some of the stuff Wilson did throughout the year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was great.
Well, I mean, he was never like he was never that guy, right? Like, you know, the way Drew Brees would always put like a fuck ton of yards up and like maybe not as many TDs as Peyton and Tom because of like how that offense was run, but like yards on yards on yards.
Yeah.
That was never the Russell Wilson game. So it's not that big of a deal. But I think, like I was saying, honestly, guys, it's been a really good season for Seattle fans. I'm really happy for you. And please don't forget to take your gift bag on the way out. We really loved having you here. You really acquitted yourselves well for what we thought. And the San Francisco 49ers are very grateful that you showed up to play and played your hearts out. But unfortunately, that's going to be all she wrote for the Seahawks, unless you think my apologetic send-off to them is incorrect, Bob.
No, I mean, this 5-10 years ago was one of the best rivalries in football. Every year they come in the playoffs. But now this is going to be a waxing by the 49ers for sure, man. I mean, you think about the way that the Seahawks are looking and how the Niners have looked in the last, I think it's 10 weeks, aren't they? Isn't it 10 or 6 in a row, right? Six in a row. 6 in a row. And Purdy hasn't lost, and he looks like the real deal. Doesn't
look like he knows how to lose.
It really does, man. And I think he looks better than both Jimmy and Lance looked at any point this season. Brock Purdy looks better than both of them.
I agree.
In that system, and that's scary because that team with the solid quarterback might be unstoppable.
I want to go back. I want to go back in time and retract my admittance that Jimmy Garoppolo is better than I thought, because obviously it was the system holding him up.
Yeah, if we did a power rankings, the 49ers would be number 1 this week. Or I think they'd be number 1. Maybe number 2. Probably number 2.
Still take the Chiefs.
Yeah, they'd probably be 2. But
Patrick Mahomes threw like 44 TDs without Tyreek Hill this year. Like, he just shut that conversation down immediately. And
he almost broke the all-time record for yards.
Quite honestly, like, the dude, I know that they're the favorites all the time, but the dude just does not get enough credit. Because as much as he gets, he should get more. But we'll talk about him in a little bit. The San Francisco 49ers are obviously going to win. But let's talk some betting lines. They're 5-10 favorites, minus 510. The Seahawks are plus 370. That's not good value. Even if you think that they might win, which they're not going to. Even if you think they might, don't bet that. The over-under is 42.5. I would take the under there. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. Seahawks on a score. I think they put up a max. I said this in Discord earlier this week. I could see them putting up 3 in this game. I feel like that's a very solid possibility that the Seahawks score 3 points. Maybe 7-10, but I think it's like a 28-3 game is how I see this going. Gino's I
was thinking like
10,
27-6 was like what was kind of popping up in my head.
That first Saturday game, it just feels like one of those, you know what I mean, that low scoring, someone gets shut down, there's a couple interceptions. It's clear
what's going to happen the whole time.
Yeah, for sure.
George Kittle, 25.
Playoff. We're talking about
right now. Playoffs? George Kittle, 25 receiving yards in each half. I like that bet. Plus 150.
I do like that. I also like Kittle for first touchdown at plus 800. Yeah, because
I like Debo 61 plus receiving yards and his touchdown at some point. Plus 300.
Plus 300. There you go. Yeah, because they're going to be working him back in too. Kittle's been solid since Purdy came in. He looks Kittle's way, especially early in the game. I think he scored first touchdown in like 3 of the 4 starts, or at least 2 of the 4. Yeah,
that's good. I like that. What about this one? Seahawks to win, Debo Samuel, George Kittle, DK Metcalf, and Noah Fant all to score a touchdown, plus 35,000. Put $1 on that. Stranger things have happened. All right. I mean, I think it's going to be a fun game to sort of to kick off the day. Oh wait, it's not going to kick off the day. The Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills are going to kick off the day, as well as the Tennessee. No, that's not a thing.
No, that's Sunday. That's
Sunday. Yeah. You're right. Wrong date. So that's going to kick off the day. And the other game that day is the Los Angeles Chargers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, here's where we're getting into some murkier territory with betting on the underdog. I think that one thing that always gives me pause when coming into the playoffs is momentum. The Chargers have it, but the Jaguars really have it. I feel like I'm getting a weird vibe off of Trevor Lawrence all of a sudden. Like there's a little sparkle about him. I feel like the Chargers, as much as they sort of came around towards the second half of the season once everybody got healthy, there's still some kind of kinks in that armor that we sort of saw.
What is it Staley doing playing his players this past week? They had nothing to gain, bro. And then Mike Williams got hurt. He's out. He's out for this game.
Is he really?
I don't know if it's official yet, but it's looking like he's out.
Oh, especially
he was in a boot yesterday.
He's a bad coach. Like he's honestly a bad coach. That team should have looked so much better with the talent that they have. Yeah. He need that. Like Herbert needs somebody that is better than Staley. To be honest.
Well, it's funny because we keep talking about how like since the weapons came back, they look like a different team, and it looks like the Chargers that we thought it was going to be. Bro, he actually hasn't been playing that great, and he hasn't been putting up that many points. Actually, I guess this past 2 weeks he did, but 2 weeks before that,
they're a little hit or miss. They're a little hit or miss.
He didn't have any touchdowns, and he had multiple interceptions in both
games. They don't
games.
fill me with confidence. They don't. They're like, if we're talking about betting money here, unfortunately, the Jags are only plus 110. I mean, this is a pretty even spread here. I would have thought it would have been a little bit. I thought we had a little insider knowledge or something, but apparently Vegas watches football too.
Well, Jacksonville's pretty fired up about this. This is the thing. They got that whole Duval County thing going, the Duval, and they have the Jaguar who wears a thong. That's a whole
all 9 Jacksonville Jaguar fans. All 9 of them are probably going to be there. So it's the best market for that Jacksonville's ever seen. They all bought jerseys. A couple of them bought T-shirts with like jersey names printed on them. But it's times are tough down there in Florida. I might take the Jaguars here, but to me, it's a stay away. I wouldn't want to bet this game. What do you think?
I have it in a couple, my wild parlays. I have it.
This is like a parlay killer to me. This is like exactly how a parlay dies.
So what it's going to be is if the Chargers win, I have one where I have them winning by a touchdown, and I feel like if the Chargers win, it's going to be by if Chargers win, it's going to be by a touchdown or more because it's going to be one of those things where the Chargers are the better football team. Yeah, and if they show up and play like the Chargers can, and like we know who they are,
what are you saying to the Jags? I think they could win. You're saying smash him in the mouth, punch him in the face,
you gotta smash
right off the bat. Like, the ultimate underdog wild card playoff weekend move is you come out and you
especially as a home team,
you come out, because they're the fucking division winners somehow. Mm-hmm. Come out and punch them straight in the mouth, right? And go from there and make the Chargers beat you, make them beat you. And they look like a team that maybe could, but they also sometimes look like a team that maybe couldn't. And if Mike Williams is out, sky's the limit, Jacksonville. Sky's the limit. Let's talk about the Dolphins playing the Bills. Listen, Miami, it's been a great season. You guys have acquitted yourselves so well. Your head coach, offensive guru, Mike McDaniel, has been a lot of fun to watch. I'm a little upset with how you let your quarterback's brain get melted, so maybe you didn't acquit yourself that well. I'm happy for you that you got in the playoffs. Kept the Steelers out, which I would have probably preferred.
Yes, 100%.
Because they were just like looking a little better. They were looking like a team that could win a game. But that's all right. Miami are in. They were on the downturn. Steelers are on the upturn, but Miami are in. They did just enough. McDaniel's still here. We like him. We're fans of him on the show. He's one of us. He's like the same fucking age as we are. So
I told you though, man, that the talk out of Miami, man, is if they get smoked by the Bills. I'm reading it right now. It says, Miami Dolphins may fire Mike McDaniel
and get who?
If they lose to New York. Oh, if they miss the playoffs, so they did make it. All right, never mind. He was cracking jokes in the last few weeks of the season, and I get, that's why we loved him at first. You're on an 8-game losing or like a 6-game losing streak, bro. You can't be just cracking jokes.
Hey, can I just point something out though?
Yeah.
Same record as Flores.
That's funny, isn't it?
Same record.
It's funny how, and it was the exact opposite.
And it was the opposite run.
Exact opposite. Wow,
exact
that's hilarious.
So you could make an argument that Flores was responsible for a lot of the success at the start of the season, and we saw more of the Mike McDaniel approach at the end.
Oh,
he's a good coach.
Damn.
I think he.
I mean, bro, let's be real here. They were starting. I can't. Skylar, whatever his name is. the last couple weeks of the season. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater's okay, but he's nothing special.
Listen, well, it's like the Teddy Bridgewater is the quintessential, like, once he's in there, your season's in trouble. Like, something's happened.
Yes. And the Dolphins were on my list the past 6 weeks of teams that I didn't want to watch. Like, it was like there was it was
comparatively
like
to how good it was at the start of the season when Waddle and Tyreek were just like going fucking bananas for like the first 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. I feel like, even though all that's true, you kind of you got to move on from Tua at this point. If not for anything else but his health, like his brain.
Yeah, I don't trust it. I would never want to see him get another concussion. And like, I feel like if he gets another one soon, he's in trouble. Yeah.
It's like relearning how to walk territory. It's not good.
Long story short here, the Buffalo Bills are going to absolutely run the goddamn Miami Dolphins into the ground. And this is going to be wild. I love Gabe Davis. Listen, this playoff time, and Gabe Davis goes off in the playoffs. It's just what he does. It's just who he is. I think he could have 2 touchdowns in this game. I have one. He is first touchdown, which I like, because Allen loves going to Gabe Davis for that first deep ball early in the game because they're covering Diggs, they're shadowing over to Diggs, and all of a sudden he throws a bomb over to Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is plus 850 for first touchdown. Anytime touchdown, he's plus 155, which isn't great, but 2 touchdowns, he's plus 100, so plus 1,000.
How about this? Plus 275. This is good. These are good numbers. Plus 275. The Buffalo Bills don't score a rushing touchdown.
I like that.
Right?
The only thing I would worry about is if they get within like the 4. And
Josh Allen jogging in. Yeah. That's what's going to get you. Because I'll tell you something. If they want to win a Super Bowl, they got to figure out that running game. Something's up there. It's not correct. It's I feel like there's some talent in that running back room, if you want to call it that. I just, man, I don't know. Something's not quite right about how they run the football. Maybe it's how they have to scheme the blocking for the kind of quarterback that Josh Allen is, but you kind of can't ask him to do that come playoff time. And I feel like you're starting to see. Plus, man, like you said, I wonder what the number is. I haven't looked this up, but I wonder what the number is for Josh Allen to throw a red zone interception. I'm curious because it's like,
it just scares me, man. Not this game, obviously, because this game, I think is already
I mean,
over.
he didn't look fucking great at that against the Patriots of all people. I mean, they're not the best team in the NFL. Exactly.
Patriots, I feel like, are better than the Dolphins at this point. I would have rather the Patriots in the playoffs.
He didn't only throw red zone picks against the Patriots, though. He's like making a habit of it, whoever the team is.
It's true. He's looking him and Dak Prescott.
I didn't want to say anything,
but. Yeah, bro. I mean, I think this game could be possibly. I am going to put in a bet here where Bills win by like 21 plus, and it's going to be like a big plus number because I think it's more likely that the Bills win this game by 35 than it is that the Dolphins win this game.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
So
I think that's pretty locked in.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about the Giants and the Vikings. Kill me with fire. I'm betting on the Giants.
This is everyone's darling. Yep, that's everyone's darling this week. Is the Giants?
They're better coached. They're a better coached team. I think Kirk Cousins and Daniel Jones are as good as each other. I don't think one is better than the other. Even if you want to say Kirk Cousins is more talented, it's playoff time, baby. You're on TV.
They're just different. They're so different, but they're the same. You know what I mean? They're
essentially.
Yeah.
I don't have any faith in the Minnesota Vikings to bet money on them. I just won't do it. I know last week we actually had a conversation. What if it's the Giants and the Vikings? And I said I'd probably still take the Vikings. And I got to say, now that it's actually squeaky bum time and we're actually here and it's time to put your fucking money where your gob is, there's no way I'm betting on the Vikings. I'm not parting with money to bet on the Vikings. I'm not doing it. I'm either not betting at all or I'm doing what I already did. And I'm taking the New York Giants to win by less than a touchdown.
I like that. So I was on Twitter this week and I saw a hype video for the Giants. And, normally going into the playoffs, you see hype videos and it's like, you see the players and there's like all this stuff. And like, they're like, we're the Giants, yeah. And then they show like good highlights. They show this, they show that. The New York Giants playoff hype tape was Dabble. Just Brian Dabble. The whole time.
That is the interesting part of watching that team.
It was the coolest thing ever, man. And I'm with you. I know that this seems like the one that Vegas is going to take everyone's money because everyone's like Giants, and all of a sudden the Vikings.
What about that whole the Vikings know how to win speech you gave me last week?
Listen, I get it, and they do.
I know you get it. You said it.
Which is what scares me. Fair enough. Which is what scares me about picking the Giants, because the Giants don't win blowouts. The Giants don't win big. They only win close games. And we all know what the Vikings have done. Was it 11-1? Is it 11-1?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever been 11-1 in one-score games? That's crazy.
No, it's bananas. It really is. But I think it's playoffs. Hey, all fucking bets are off. It's a clean slate. We're starting over. None of that juju is with us anymore. It just isn't. Maybe a touch, maybe a sprinkle on Wild Card weekend. But after this weekend, it's done. None of that kind of hop, skip, and a jump, leapfrog from lily pad to lily pad bullshit that teams have been doing. You get found out in the playoffs. The best part of it.
I don't think it's really hit me yet that the playoffs are coming. You know what I mean?
It has. I think doing the power ranking show has sort of broken it up over the course of the year, that it seems like it just zoomed right by.
Yeah.
But, I love it. We're here. The playoffs are here. Plus, we're one step closer to the offseason to see what the Bears do. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You're right, though. It does seem like the Vegas, fucking sneaky Vegas, like the Mr. Burns meme where he's putting his fucking fingers together because they actually know they're getting the fucking Vikings win here. But let's move on to the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Baltimore's not winning this game. No, sorry, everybody.
No.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm discovering about Wild Card weekend. You ready? There's only one game that really, really could give us some really interesting shit to talk about.
I don't want to talk about
it. It's the Cowboys and the Bucks. Listen, we'll talk about the Ravens and the Bengals for a second. What I love about the Bengals is that they look just as hardcore this time this year as they did this time last year. They were even better when they were bad this year at the start of the year, and they're even better when they being good than they were last year. They look better now at this time last year than they did when they went to the Super Bowl. So if the Bengals watch this space, because Bobby has me convinced that if the Bengals see the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, we're looking at the Bengals going back to the Super Bowl again. He has me convinced. So I need to see those lines when we get there.
I think they feel a little disrespected too because of the whole.
Burrow looks like he looks like the most confident.
He's a dog. Do you hear the question they asked?
My whole career. My whole career is the window.
Best fucking answer I've ever heard in my life. I love
that guy.
If that was my quarterback, if I saw that interview, I swear on my life I would
running
jump
through
up
a brick wall.
Bro, let's
running through a brick
go.
wall. Dude. I love that guy. I fucking love that guy. Like I've said before, he's who the Browns thought they were getting when they got Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
He's probably the best.
He's Baker Mayfield without a Napoleon complex. Is what it is.
Yeah. I would say Joe Burrow is the best Heisman Trophy winning quarterback
ever
of the last 20 years in the NFL.
Did Peyton wear Heisman? I don't think he did, right?
I don't think so. Well, fucking Baker Mayfield did. Bryce Young did.
I know he's in the Heisman house, bro. I know.
Yeah. Reggie Bush did. So listen, the Cincinnati Bengals are winning this game, and I would love to give a speech to the Baltimore Ravens about how they put in a great season, and we loved having them here. But quite honestly, they are the biggest disappointment of this NFL season. They're the biggest letdown of this NFL season. Yep. They took they added pieces to their defense. They had a great dynamic point scoring quarterback. They have a coach who's a proven winner and a champion. And they just fucking looked lame, coughing up leads, big leads to teams way worse than them. Getting outfought, getting outran, getting outfought, getting out thought, getting out jumped.
Yep.
Every week in, week out. And the only person trying to drag him over the fucking line, it seemed from where we were sitting, was Lamar Jackson. And honestly, I think he was just fed up by the end of it. And like you said, he's probably what did you say to me about what was the basketball comparison? Oh yeah, he's like what the Claw did on San Antonio. He's like, maybe he's hurt, but like maybe he just wants to leave. So
100%. That's what it is. I mean, I think this whole season, got tanked because of that whole situation. You know what I mean? As soon as he got hurt, he wasn't putting his body on the line for this goddamn team. They didn't give him a contract. Why would he do that for you? Of course, he's going to do it in the playoffs.
He didn't get the bag he deserved. I'll tell you that much.
Right. And it's like I said before, I compared it to Xander. No matter what, it's the same exact correlation where it's like when you take a player who's an all-star in your locker room, who's the captain of your team, and you don't take care of him, bro, it's in trouble. You're in trouble. You just are. But the Bengals, by the way, I just see it as I think they have the most ice water in their veins out of all the teams up and down that roster, man. It's like Burrow, Chase, Mixon, T. Higgins. It's just they have just ballers all over the place. And I know, it's the Mahomes factor. That's really what overshadows everything. But I just, there's so much more well-rounded than the rest of them, man. The Bengals are so good. They're a very fucking good football team. Do you remember when we were doubting them in like week 9, week 8?
I think we hedged.
The Bengals.
We hedged.
No, we did.
I don't know.
We
They
did
did this last
sure.
year. They did this last year.
They
still could just turn it around just like they did last year. Like it could happen. Like Jamar Chase had some injury issues. Like, I think we definitely hedged. So fuck
Burrow
it.
got an appendectomy at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, fuck everybody else. We were good. We covered ourselves.
In case you're wondering, why won't this send? God damn. There we go. Now sending. The best Heisman quarterback ever. The
Carson
internet
Palmer.
just told me is Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
Answer.
Is it?
Answer.
Is it?
Answer.
Are you sure it's not Joe Burrow?
Do you see?
Because I don't think it's Carson Palmer.
You see that, right?
I don't think it's Carson Palmer, buddy. I got to tell you.
I've never Googled something and haven't got it so wrong in my life. It just popped up. I was like, nope.
That poor fuck. Do you remember that leg injury, though? Remember that leg
was
injury?
bad. He was Bengals.
Gruesome. That's fucking gruesome.
They were gonna win that game too against the Steelers. They were gonna do some damage in that playoffs. It was like TJ Houshmandzadeh in the Chad Johnson year. Bro. They were good.
Yeah, they had wide receivers for fucking days, dude. It's like the opposite of the next team we're gonna talk about, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh god damn it, bro! Why'd you have to do that?
I'm sorry, dude. I'm about to be mean to you. Dak fucking sucks, bro. He sucks, dude. He's not the guy. It's over.
That was so. I gotta say
pathetic. That was pathetic, dude.
The 2 plays, the pick six, man, was honestly the 2 worst plays I've ever in my life seen from a quarterback. I felt like I was in a simulation, bro. I really did. Like my dad texted me, so in case anyone didn't see it, because it was a horrible game. Dak Prescott threw a pick six to the Commanders. The guy dropped it. He didn't get it. And it was like, oh, Dak Prescott, almost a pick six. Oh, my God. Next play. Literally the same route, same throw, pick six the other way. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life, bro.
Wild.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with him. My dad asked me if he was on drugs.
We laughed last week about like this exact scenario, Tampa versus Dallas, of this actually happening. The only way you were getting out of it, right, is if the Eagles lost and you guys won and you won the division. That's the only way that was happening. So that didn't fucking happen at all. So Tom Brady's probably going to beat you. I got to tell you. Like,
so
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are plus 120. I would take that money. I would take that line right now. If you can leave your Dallas Cowboys allegiance to the side, plus 120, I'm taking the fucking Bucks, dude.
I want to take it. I do.
What's affecting the line?
What's
affecting the line? All the other times Tom Brady's lost to the Dallas Cowboys? No, because it's happened zero fucking times.
Zero times. No, I've been dreading this match. We've known this matchup was coming since like week 12. You know what I mean? Since the Cowboys were slated for that five seed, this is what was coming. I gotta say, this is as much of a nut crunching time for this regime as there's been. If you can't beat this fucking team that has just been an absolute dumpster fire all year long. Oh, listen, I know it's Tom Brady. I know. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a horseshit football team for 18 weeks. They are not good. So if we actually lose this game, we gotta reevaluate everything.
Yeah,
because if you can't beat a team, listen again. I'll say it again. I know it's Tom Brady. No fucking way is it okay for us to lose to this football team. If we think this is a real championship core,
yeah,
you gotta win this fucking game.
Yeah, I think if you lose, you take Tony Pollard and your very young and dynamic defense.
I gotta breathe for a sec.
And then you move on from everybody else, including Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, Jerry Jones is the GM. I mean, I know it's up to him, but maybe he needs to move on from himself. Ezekiel Elliott, for sure. You got to find a way to get that contract off the books. You just got to find a way. I don't know. Mortgage some shit. I don't know. That defense is talented. I think it has the potential to be generational, if it's given to the right hands. I think you clean house. If you lose this game, you clean house. You see what you can get for Dak. I'm sorry to say it, but you see what you can get for Dak. Because if you go to the Washington Commanders and you tell them you would be a great football team with Dak Prescott, maybe it's just not working out here in Dallas.
You can't do it in division. You can't do it in division.
If you go to the Las Vegas Raiders,
there you go,
and you tell them,
oh, I could picture.
Oh yeah, I could picture him there too. You tell Josh McDaniels, hey, that shit you're getting by trading away Carr. We all know you're doing it. We all know what you've been fucking up to.
He does stupid shit too. He can fit right in.
Oh yeah. At the next meeting of the Imbecile Club, they should have a little conversation. Jerry Jones and fucking Josh McDaniels and those two organizations about that exact thing. Who, you might ask, do the Dallas Cowboys move on to as their head coach?
Sean Payton. It's not even a question.
Have they approached him?
He used to
I heard the Commanders approached him.
Yeah, everyone's approaching him, but his number one destination is the Cowboys. That's where he wants to be.
Say it doesn't work out.
He literally, in the Sean Payton movie, I'm pretty sure he says that he wants to coach the Cowboys.
Really?
Yeah, or it was in the Kevin James. You know how they made a movie based off where he got suspended, all that shit. He says he wants to go coach the Cowboys. I forgot. God damn it! I had a point before that.
Can I make a pitch to you though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Lovie Smith.
No, fuck you.
No, why not?
It's the same thing.
It's not.
Listen,
he's a great coach.
No. I am done with average bullshit.
It's not average. He's not average. He's been to a Super Bowl.
So is Mike McCarthy.
I mean, he had Aaron Rodgers though. Lovie Smith had Rex Grossman.
Yeah, I mean, listen, no, I can't deal with another guy that doesn't have that it factor, man. I need it on the fucking Cowboys. I need swagger.
Well, you better trade Dak. You better trade Dak Prescott then.
Yeah, so that's, I was gonna get to that in a second. So when it comes to Dak, man, listen, there's moments where I'm like, that's it. I feel like this week, if this game goes according to what I actually think is going to happen, because I think we're going to win this game. I think it's going to be a good win's coming. I think Dak 3 touchdowns and a pick for 275 this week. I think he has a really good game. He bounces back very well. The team bounces back really well. They have all year. However, I also have a very clear picture in my head of a completely different scenario. So if the Cowboys lose this game, it's because of Dak Prescott and that offense. And we all know how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win games this year. It's what they do. They make teams play like horseshit because they play like horseshit. And it's just a bunch of horseshit for 4 quarters until Tom Brady leads a drive at the end of the game and wins the fucking game. It's been every single one of their wins this year. And that is the typical route for a Cowboys loss in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like last year, 49ers played like shit for 4 quarters, had a chance to win the game at the end. It's what they do. So that's the 2 routes here. Is the Cowboys win big, then it's 28-7, 28-10, something like that.
Yeah.
Or 16-13.
Sure.
17-14.
I think the Bucks are going to beat you 8-6. Dak will throw 2 picks. Brady will throw for 330 yards, 1 touchdown. He'll go for 2 inexplicably to start scoring. And then you guys will miss your extra point when you score your 1 touchdown. It'll be Tony Pollard in a 44-yard run. And then no other players will score. No other players will score. No one else will score. So I don't know what the lines are for that, but
CD will have like a 68-yard catch, but like
it'll get fumbled at the goal line.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is too mean.
It's okay.
Mike's not here. I'm trying to fill in the void.
It's fine though, because I just feel like what happened was when we entered the Madden simulation of the Tom Brady world that we're in right now.
Yeah,
this dude hates the Cowboys because I don't know if you've noticed all the things that have lined up just perfectly for the Cowboys to not win this fucking game. So Tom Brady, we already talked about it, is lifetime 7-0 against the Dallas Cowboys. He has never lost. He
still owns you.
in my entire life, I have never seen my team beat Tom Brady. It's so.
He's gonna cry.
I've never actually had a moment where I've been like, yeah, Brady, we got you, bro. It's always like, oh well, fucking Brady. Also, the Dallas Cowboys.
Let me ask you this.
Wait. No, there's another layer. Cowboys are also wearing their blue jerseys this weekend.
Dude, come on.
The Bucks get the choice, bro, and the Bucks are assholes, and they're like, yeah, we're wearing our whites, which they never do.
You think on purpose? You think on purpose?
Of course they fucking did.
That's genius. I love it.
The Dallas Cowboys have never won a playoff game in their blue jerseys. Never. It's 0-4. So here we go. Cowboys playoffs, baby. We are
only way to go is up, man.
Bro, it really is funny how every year it's the same fucking thing.
Do you think if you beat Tom Brady, but don't win the Super Bowl, do you think that would be like a salve, like a consolation?
Depends what the next game's like. It really does. Mm-hmm. They can't do what they did last year. They can't play like shit. I need to see solid football, multiple games in a row, to know that this regime has what it takes, man. If we lose a great game against the Eagles, fine. Whatever. Shit, I'll be devastated. But at least we show that we can hang in there and we can put together multiple victories against good teams.
Yeah.
Until that point.
Here's the last thing I want to talk about before we adjourn. Tom Brady loses this game or doesn't win a Super Bowl. I don't see him in Tampa again next year. Not after what that offense looked like. Not after how angry he looked. Raiders, maybe. Josh McDaniels, maybe. Could happen. But Dolphins, though. Dolphins. Right? You wouldn't even have
Brady,
to move.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know how fucking Florida geography works, but I'm sure he wouldn't have to move. He could take a riverboat.
It's like
take an alligator ride down. I don't fucking know, dude. It's all the same. Take a helicopter to work for Tom Brady.
I like the Raiders, to be honest, man. I feel like he could go to the Raiders.
He's playing again, though, right? There's no way. He's coming back.
No,
he's coming back.
It's funny. Everyone's asking if Aaron Rodgers is going to retire. I don't think I've heard one peep about if Tom Brady's going to retire.
Aaron Rodgers isn't retiring. I bet he's going somewhere, though. I bet he's going somewhere other than Green Bay. And maybe I'll hate him less if he fucks off out of the NFC entirely. Who knows? Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is wild card.
Why can't I just get excited for Wild Card Weekend? Why is it always got to be this bullshit that I know
he's
going to
grab his balls?
Lose?
He's going to grab his balls. He's going to put on his jersey. He's going to drink a few gulps of fucking Dr. McGillicuddy's. He's going to scream and yell all day on the 15th of January, 2023 at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 5:15 Pacific.
And I got to wait all the way to fucking Monday. That's the worst part. Worst part is I got to wait all fucking weekend and go to work on Monday and then have the Cowboys fucking lose.
Hey, but you know something? It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So
I don't have to go to work.
You don't actually have to go to work. So congratulations on that. It'd be better if it was Sunday and you had the next day off, though. All right. That's all I've got, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's been the MTP Wild Card Weekend preview. Thanks so much for coming in. We love you all. Not as much as I love Lovie Smith. Good night.
Introducing the Deep Leadership Podcast. Leadership is a people business. That's the philosophy of your podcast host, John Rennie. As a former submarine officer who spent 22 years leading businesses in corporate America before starting his own manufacturing business, he knows that leadership matters. Deep Leadership is real-world, actionable leadership advice from John and his expert guests. Become a leader worth following. Subscribe today.
Electricast.
Welcome to Tuning Into Sound Wellbeing, where we harmonise your mind, body and soul. I'm Amanda, your sound therapy expert.
And I'm Stephen, the curious explorer uncovering the mysteries of sound.
Together we explore vibrations, frequencies and the power of sound therapy and tuning forks.
Discover ancient wisdom, reduce stress and tune into a healthier life. Subscribe to Tuning Into Sound Wellbeing today.
Electricast.